heavyweight contender on a collision course for a title.
Yeah, I guess now at this point, it's probably a year and a half, 2 years ago, Dino Duva, who does a terrific job as a promoter, had flown me out to Vegas, worked with him for a couple days, and he had talked about me in the fighter himself.
Oh, good right hand from Chambers.
It didn't work out. They wanted me to relocate to Vegas, and I wanted him to come to New York.
You know, that sounds like simple logistics, but it's not. It actually reveals a lot about the decision being made by a fighter who's willing to do what it takes to get to the next level.
Yeah, but to his credit, and I should say that in full fairness, he did get to the next level, even though it was only for a few minutes. He got to the heavyweight title. He did get one of those belts, so give him credit for that. And right now, again, you see on the outside that jab of Chambers, but, you know, it's a funny thing when you see that jab, Joe, of Chambers. It's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is, every once in a while, you see the speed of that jab. It lands. It's effective. The bad thing is, you don't see it enough. You know, it's a tease. And again, not enough offense. You know, good covering, pretty good defensive responsibility by Chambers, but not enough coming back.
3 rounds in the books here on Friday Night Fights. Fast Eddie Chambers is going to turn 27 years old on Sunday.
Watch some hip shots, ref, please.
Yeah, the whole question is it going to be a happy birthday? And he better start moving those hands if he wants that, you know, birthday to be a happy one.
Had a good right hand there in that 3rd round at Chambers.
Same thing,
Let's look back
same thing
at the shot he was able to land against the big Nigerian.
One of the things that I noticed, you saw right there, the jab sets the table, and then he ate with the right hand.
Come on, son, work.
Now again, I think the right words, simple words, but the right words from Rob Murray. Come on, son, let's work. Let's move those hands, in other words.
Sam Peter grew up on a farm in Africa with no plumbing. He would wake to the daily chore of getting water from a well. And now, trying to go to the well again in his heavyweight career and get back into the mix. In that 3rd round, Chambers had a 22-8 connect advantage.
You know, one of the all-time great boxing men who I always enjoyed, Mickey Duck. He was so witty, you know, he would come with these quips, with these little sayings that used to crack me up, but they had merit to them. I think of one right now. He'd look at these 2 guys and say, Teddy, with that English accent, Teddy, these 2 guys they throw punches like they're paying for them, and they're cheapskates. And again, the punch numbers are not as high as you'd want to see them if you're a backer of either fighter. And then there you see the hand speed of Peter.
There are the total punches. 179 thrown for Sam Peter, landing only 36, just 20%. Trying to sneak that right hand into the mix that time was Chambers, and doubling up that jab. He's got that little flick jab, Teddy, sometimes, that side little chicken wing jab there.
Yeah, it's just to distract, hypnotize Peter, and set the stage for the right hand. And again, just watch Chambers using his legs a little bit more than usual, keeping Peter off balance, but not taking advantage enough offensively when he gets Peter a little bit off balance. Again, both guys being too conservative offensively. Good 2 shots there by Chambers.
Landed the counter shot, came back with the left hand in Eddie Chambers.
You know, one of the things I'd like to see, I noticed watching film, getting ready for this fight, of Chambers is he'll land that right hand. He usually sets up an opening for the right hand pretty good, either off his jab or, you know, he'll pull back a little bit and make you fall short like that. He'll make you fall short like we did in the fight plan with your left hand, and then he'll come and fill the spot with the right hand. But one thing that I noticed with Chambers, Joe, he doesn't put the left hook with it. He never comes back with that left hook after he lands a good right hand.
Peter trying to work that jab now. And there's 2 body shots that come in the midst of that combination from Fast Eddie, and then he goes back to the body with the jab. Peter coming forward now. Range finding with that jab. The big cutting right hand yet to be exposed from Sam Peter. Comes up the middle with a left hand. That was a low shot, that left hand. The warning comes in from Dr. James Jen Kim.
See, there's the right hand from Chambers.
There it is.
But no left hook.
Peter tries to return fire. End of 4.
Take a look here. This is what I was talking about. Watch this setup with the jab for the right hand. There's the right hand, but no left hook back. Let's take another look, another angle here. Now watch again. You're going to see the jabs. Set up the right hand, but right here should be coming back with a left hook. No left hook, and what happens? Well, Peter's able to come back on offense. That left hook comes back from Chambers. There's no offense from Peter.
Needs to back it up. Round 5, an important heavyweight fight. Number 6 in the world, Sam Peter, recent titleist, against Fast Eddie Chambers, an American hopeful with a 33-1 record, and still plenty of upside ahead of him. Teddy, after that last round, Pops Anderson in the corner of Sam Peter said, "You're letting him work when he wants to work. Just walk him down." For the average guy sitting at home, you hear that phrase in boxing a lot. Just walk him down. Explain it.
And keep the pressure on. You know, keep going forward. You know, make him feel like he can't stop you. Make him start to disintegrate a little bit. Get closer to him, especially you're the big banger. Walk him down and then deliver. But when you're not in the best of shape, it's one thing for a trainer to say that, but when you're 265 pounds, how much walking down are you going to want to do?
It takes a lot of effort and energy to do that, to keep coming forward, to break a man down by coming at him. Sam Peter, does he have that gas tank tonight? Comes forward here, pressuring, trying to corral Eddie Chambers. Teddy's scorecard right now, 38-38.
You said it'd be an interesting fight, and it's an interesting fight. You know, I'm going to say something a little crazy right here.
Go for it.
Won't be the first time.
No.
But, look, you have to be responsible defensively when you got a banger like Peter in front of you, and Chambers is trying to do that. Use his legs, pick his spots a little bit, but you know what? You're almost tempted to say that if Chambers, not Peter, but if Chambers, and again, you might be going into the lion's den a little bit, you might get bit a little bit, I don't know, but if you come up real good and you start walking down Peter a little bit, you know, again, there's a little more danger there. But if you start walking him down a little bit, this is a guy who got broken down in his last fight. He's the heaviest of his career. Yeah, there'd be a little bit more danger, but there'd be a huge payoff because the guy won't stay around in the later rounds. I think the guy will evaporate right in front of you. But again, there'd be a danger to walking him down because there's a chance that Peter could put his hands on you then. The only reason I would consider that is, one, Peter has broken down before, and two, Chambers is pretty good at blocking shots. And a lot of heavy breathing from the man in blue right now. That mouth is open.
Halfway point of this fight.
A lot of heavy breathing.
Carrying 265, lugging it around against the boxer, a slickster. There's a right hand from Sam Peter. Didn't get it flush. Now trying to chase him down and look for another one. Halfway through, end of 5. Sam Peter, a recent titleist, but didn't continue against Klitschko. We asked him, what about his hunger to get back?
Now, you know, because, you know, they always treat you like a king, you know, everywhere you sleep in a very nice hotel, you know, so I don't want to miss that again, you know. I want to be in first class, so I don't want to miss that again. It's always good to be a champion, you know. As I was saying, last time I just want to let it go because I was having injury and a lot of things were happening, you know, so that this time around I'll fix myself. That's why I'm trying to make Eddie to wait because it's not his time yet, so I'm still going to go to grab that belt and back to state.
Now, many wonder if he will ever get back to the fire and passion that we saw glimpses of early in his career.
Let's go.
Teddy, a week ago on Friday Night Fights, you talked about reports from those in the know in Vegas that said Sam Peter was having an unimpressive training camp for this fight. With what you saw in the first half of this fight, do those reports make sense?
When he got on the scale, they made sense.
Undoubtedly.
Yeah, I mean, to me, they made sense. And, you know, he hasn't looked terrible, but the offense hasn't really been clicked up a notch yet by Chambers. And if it's clicked up a notch, maybe 2 notches, I think you're going to see something. I think you're going to see some real fading of Peter. But again, the offense has to be there. I know the defense has to be there, but the offense of Chambers has to bring it to a pitch that is going to bring out the weakness in Peter, the lack of condition.
So you're not necessarily seeing the best of Sam Peter, but you're not seeing the most aggressive Eddie Chambers to make that separation and create that gap where it's even more obvious.
And again, you know, I understand the responsibility of Chambers and his people, and I think he has good people there. And I understand that, you know, you want to be aggressive, but it has to be smart. It has to be calculated. You know, it has to be planned. But I think now's the time to start doing it. You're getting Peter to wait a little bit more. You're getting him to stand in front of you more. Look, he's not doing much. You know, you're getting angles on him. Start